Lattafa is one of the biggest fragrance brands of all time. At least here lately anyway. That's the same thing as all time. And today I'm gonna be taking a look at the 10 most popular Lattafa fragrances in the world that have been released in the past 5 years and ranking them from best to worst. So from, this is so freaking good to, that's the scientific term. And I'm also gonna be giving you guys a few different fragrances that are technically not in the top 10 most popular that I think should be. All of these are gonna be linked in the description below. A couple caveats, these are fragrances that lean masculine. So technically there are a couple that I left out because they are very feminine leaning. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So the ranking that I'm gonna give you right now is not the top 10 most popular, it's how I rank the top 10 most popular. Starting with this at number 10. It is Body Al Oud Honor and Glory. And this is actually not a bad fragrance. It is really sweet, so you gotta be aware of that. It's got this creme brulee facet to it. It's got a big pineapple note in there as well, but it's more like a creamy sort of pineapple. Obviously not Aventus, because anytime you hear pineapple, people were like, is it Aventus? I've heard pineapple. It's gotta be Aventus. It's the only thing that has pineapple. And I know I just talked about this, but this is not the most masculine fragrance. To me, it's completely unisex. Ladies could pull this off, but it doesn't have like a hardcore, powdery, floral, feminine lean like some of the other ones that I left out do. And I know the question when it comes to Lattafa and frankly, all the Middle Eastern brands is, what's that a clone of? That's gotta be a clone of something. A dupe of something? What's that a dupe of? What's that inspired by? And to be fair, anytime that I see a new Lattafa, Afnan, Armagh, French Avenue, etc., I think the same thing. There's gotta be a clone of something. I'm not sure what it is, but there's gotta be something. But with this one, it's sort of its own thing. So you can draw like a couple comparisons, like take a bit of this, take a bit of that, take a bit of this, take a bit of that, put it together, and it smells kind of like this, but really it's sort of its own vibe. It also has in here cinnamon, sandalwood, and vanilla, among other notes, good for winter, fall, and spring, daytime or evening. And it is solid. It's just that I think everything after this is better, and it can come across a little bit overly sweet and cloying for my taste compared to the other stuff. So that starts us off at number 10. Number 9, it's gotta be this, Art of Universe. Now this one actually does smell similar to another fragrance. It smells like that right there, Blue Talisman. Yeah, it was editing. It's not actually floating above me, that's crazy. What? How'd that work? I feel like Insane Clown Posse with magnets. What?
Magnets, how do they work?
Now this one can be slightly expensive compared to a lot of other Lattafa fragrances. You're looking at about 40 to 50 bucks with this. Now it does have good versatility. You can use it year round, daytime or evening. It's got a nice pear note off the top, so it has a lot of fresh sweetness when you first spray it on. You also have ginger, citrus, and mint alongside that pear, so a big fruity pop. Not quite full-on fruit bowl the same way as something like Herba Pura is, but it does have a bunch of that going on, a bunch of fruits in the opening. Also has orange blossom and musk as it dries down, so it's smooth, it's clean and fresh from the opening into the dry down. Performance is solid with this one as well. For me, the only real drawback is it does have sometimes a little bit of a synthetic scent profile to it. To be fair, a lot of Blue Talisman fragrances kind of do, and I just don't like this as much as the other ones coming after it. That being said, if you're looking for something that is just, blue fragrance versatility, potential compliment factor, stuff like this one maybe you'd move up a little bit in the list. But for me, number 9, right there. Number 8, Fakhar Black. Now you may be like, you can't put Fakhar Black above Art of Universe. Fakhar Black has fish scales on a bottle. You can't have fish scales on a bottle. That don't make no sense. That's a bottle. That ain't fish.
Huh?
To that I would say, that's a weird argument. Good for you. So this one smells like Y Eau de Parfum by Yves Saint Laurent, and it's a little bit of an earlier Lattafa dupe. This is one of the ones that, in my eyes anyway, helped solidify Lattafa as like one of the go-to brands. Because price-wise, you could get this all day, every day for like 20 bucks. Sometimes less. Quality-wise, really good. You can wear this whenever you want, just like that one, just like Y Eau de Parfum. And to my taste, even though Blue Talisman is a much pricier fragrance than Y Eau de Parfum, even though this right here is pricier than this right here, I would rather wear this one more often than that one. It's got that YEDP blend of freshness and sweetness done really, really well. And if you're balling on a budget, This is one of the best things that you can get. You can wear this all year, daytime or nighttime, doesn't matter. And it smells really nice for the price. So gotta put it right here. I know you would think maybe up higher, but there are some heavy hitters coming after this. Like this right here, Vintage Radio. Somewhat questionable in terms of the name, but you know, that's something that you learn to anticipate with a lot of Middle Eastern brands. So what exactly does a vintage radio, seemingly done by AI, smell like? Well, of course, like Paragon by Initio Parfums. It makes sense to someone somewhere. The bottle is white, and the Initio bottle is white, so I mean, now this is part of the Lattafa Pride line, just like this one right here, so you can tell the similarities there, even though technically the bottle size is very slightly different. They do have a lot of similarities as well. This one though, you can usually find for a little bit less than that one right there, so that is a little positive in this one's favor. In terms of notes, it has a big bunch of plum, it has lavender and sandalwood as well. It's really strong, sweet. Once again, my wife loves this stuff. She thinks it smells absolutely fantastic. Great performance. The only time I wouldn't wear it is middle of summer because it does have that great performance and it is quite sweet. The Initio is very expensive as well, so this does serve a great purpose in giving you something that smells much more expensive than it is at a much more affordable price point, obviously, with that good performance and quality and value and everything kind of baked in. So I gotta put this one right here, and I do think that this one is more wearable than this one in terms of versatility, but I just think overall the better fragrance is Vintage Radio over this one. So in the battle of Lattafa Prides, I would take that one. Now a fragrance that I love that was not in the top 10 as far as most popular goes, it is this right here. Al Qiyam Silver. And this smells like Tiger, Bulgari's Tiger. Now, part of the issue I feel like is the presentation and the name, because when you see this, if you don't know what this is supposed to smell like, you're browsing on a store or website or something like that, it doesn't really look like too much. It's just very plain. It's got a couple random stones set in and then the name, which, to most people, they're gonna read that and be like, silver. Okay. At least Vintage Radio is memorable, even if it doesn't make a lot of sense. But yeah, this right here, absolutely fantastic if you love citrus. This is great for spring and summer. The quality is amazing. Probably one of the best spring summer fragrances that Lattafa has done. Next up in the official top 10 though, Liam Gray. Now this one is affordable. This is one of the cheaper Lattafa fragrances. So you're not gonna have to spend 40 or 50 bucks to pick this up. And this smells similar to Gris Charnel by BDK Parfums. It has fig, it has tea, it has a couple of the main notes in here. Also has cardamom, iris, vanilla, and sandalwood. Smooth, creamy, elegant, smells absolutely killer for the price again, because this is about 20 bucks. Now in terms of performance, Middle Eastern fragrances are often known to just be absolute unchained monsters. This one is not that. It's not bad, it's just not insane. Like this stuff will melt your skin off. Not literally. Probably. This is more comfortably performing. It's there, it lingers, it lasts. It's not gonna choke you out though. But for fall, winter, and early spring, Liam Gray, top notch, really good stuff. Now I'm gonna share with you guys one of my absolute favorite Lattafa fragrances, period, which not in the top 10. But before doing so, a lot of codes that you can use anytime you're shopping for Lattafa or other fragrances to save even more money. So I've got codes for a bunch of different fragrance discounters. Gift Express has an insane selection. There's a code to save money there. Same thing with the Perfume Box, Fragflex, JOMASHOP, and Beauty House as well. So anytime you're looking for clone fragrances or just fragrances in general, use those codes, save yourself a little extra cash. And of course, the fragrance that I love so much, that right there, Assad Elixir. Yeah, when you sort by most popular fragrances, unisex and men's, we're talking about on Fragrantica. As of right now, not in the top 10 as far as popularity goes. And you may say, well, how's that possible? It's an Assad and it's an Elixir. As time goes, it's possible that does jump right up there towards the top 10, but not right now. Smells similar to Boss Bottled Absolute, which is a personal favorite of mine. Now, the patchouli does not come across quite as prominently here in the Assad compared to Boss Bottled Absolute, but doesn't matter. This stuff still smells absolutely amazing. Now back to the official top 10, number 5, this right here, Teriyaki Intense. Teriyaki? I like that. And this one right here is done by Quentin Bish. So more and more Middle Eastern brands are trying to get into like doing their own thing. Obviously, they're still gonna make inspired by fragrances, right? But they are trying to come out with more stuff where they're like, no, 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 this is a creation. You see, we created this one. This one is not a dupe. We're serious. We're serious fragrance guys. Take me seriously. And that's what this is. And it has a snake on it. Oh, a nice snake. Cool. Bloop, bloop. So yeah, this is kind of doing its own thing, and it is strong, okay? A lot of fragrances out there will put intense in the name, and they won't really be that intense. You know what I'm talking about. It'll be like, oh, look at this intense spray, and then, oh, it's gone. It's gone. They lied. A fragrance brand would never lie to me. This one though, yeah, they're telling the truth. It has saffron, it has plum liquor, it has cinnamon. Then as it dries down, a trifecta of warm and sweet notes, amber, benzoin, and tonka. So yeah, it is very sweet. It is potentially cloying, but I do find it more wearable than the type of sweetness over here. Like this over here, again, smells fine, but this is more like saccharine sweet, like toothache kind of sweet. This is more sweetness mixed with booze, mixed with warm ambers and resins and spices. And so it feels and smells like there's just more going on. It does not smell the same as Kamra, which may or may not be coming up, but if you like Kamra, you will probably like this one. It's kind of in like the same ballpark. Now another one that I love, not in the top 10, Mashrabia. I think this stuff is amazing. Smells similar to Bikilian Smokin' Hot, so apple, shisha, tobacco, a little bit of smoke in there. Again, pretty sweet. Fall and winter time stuff is great. Back to the top 10, number 4, Assad Bourbon. Now this is one that has grown on me a lot. Initial reaction on this, I liked it more than Assad Zanzibar, which I don't really like Assad Zanzibar. But I would say I wasn't really sold on it quite as much as the original Assad, and over time I've grown to like this a lot more. That whole maturation of the fragrance thing, you know how it is. It's one that I feel like did mature for whatever it's worth and end up smelling better, which happens time to time with Middle Eastern fragrances especially. Super especially if you buy them on initial launch, because a lot of times they are bottling, shipping, selling like immediately. And as a scent, this is one of those ones that's sort of like a mixture of a few different things. When you smell it, you're gonna get some vibes of stuff like Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Intense. Kind of a long name, but that's all Valentinos nowadays, at least in that Born in Roma line. Also a little bit of The Most Wanted by Azzaro, maybe even something from like Scandal Absolute, just a lot of different things in here. The ones that you'll probably catch more of is The Most Wanted and Born in Roma Intense. So you have lavender in here, you have cocoa, you have Mirabelle Plum, you have vanilla, good amount of it. It's once again another fragrance more so for fall and winter time. A lot of the scents out there that get more popular from Lattafa seem to be that type of scent profile with a few kind of scattered in. Like this one is more year round, this one more year round, but this, they're pretty much more fall, winter, and maybe early spring. Now before the top 3, one last fragrance that I really like, it's this right here. It is Havoc. And I've always said that this looks kind of like a vampire's fragrance bottle, like Dracula, or maybe Dracula's son, Alucard, you know, somebody like that. It has this flashy yet gothic style to it, which is actually just a little plastic cage that slips over the glass bottle, but yeah, who cares? And this one smells like a discontinued fragrance, Le Male Essence de Parfum. So nowadays, everybody knows Le Male de Parfum, Le Male Elixir, Elixir Absolute, the Le Beau fragrances, all that stuff, right? Well, Essence de Parfum, that came out years back, and it did not take off in quite the same way and was discontinued. And this is that fragrance reborn as a vampire bottle. Tonka, sandalwood, lavender, cinnamon, cardamom, some of the notes in the fragrance. And Essence de Parfum was known for being a leather fragrance. And this has that kind of vibe, even if leather may not be an official note. I don't actually remember if it is or not on this. It also smells a little similar to C.H. Men Privé, because that smelled kind of like Essence de Parfum as well. So, all right, top 3. Assad. Yeah, so Assad next to Assad Bourbon. Now this one is always kind of a hard fragrance for me to rank, because on the one side, it is heavily hyped, but on the other side, it does smell pretty close to Sauvage Elixir, and it's also dirt cheap. Like this is one of the cheapest big Lattafa fragrances out there. The performance is good, but it is a strong scent, so it can be a little divisive if you don't like that kind of vibe that this has or Sauvage Elixir has. But when you think about Lattafa, you can't really think about Lattafa without Assad. And so I've got to put it right up here toward the tippy top. And at number 2, Kamra. If you can't think about Lattafa without Assad, you also can't think of Lattafa without Kamra. Obviously super well known. I mean, you can find a lot of Lattafa fragrances nowadays at TJ Maxx and Ross's and Burlington and places like that. Years ago, never would have happened. But now you can walk in there and find yourself a bottle of Kamra. They're everywhere. And it is good, especially for the price. It is solid. Now, there have been so many fragrances that smell similar to Kamra come out since this one. Both that Lattafa has done and also that other brands have done, like all the brands. They have all done it with multiple releases. Smells similar to Guy Sava, also smells similar to Angel Share from By Kilian, hence the look of the bottle. It's gonna be a very sweet, decadent, kind of gourmand leaning, sticky almost, a sort of scent profile. Perfect once again for fall and winter, and a massive compliment puller. So what is it that could possibly be in the top 10 most popular of the last 5 years that is better than Kamra? Well, my friends, it's Kamra again. But this time it's in a bottle that is more brown. Wow. Cool. Yeah, it's Kamra Kawa. So basically the idea here of this is take this, but put some coffee in there. Now I know that sounds simplistic, but that's honestly the best way to think of it. It still has cinnamon, it has cardamom, it's got praline, it has vanilla, it has that coffee. It has better performance off my skin than the original Kamra, so you're gonna get more bang for your buck, more projection, better longevity, all of that stuff. Of course, that goes without saying, it's not gonna work that well in spring or summer. So it is, once again, a fall and winter time scent profile, more of an evening fragrance. But I think just as far as bang for buck, out of all these, this is tops for me. And as of right now, of those 10 most popular scents, that is how I would rank them out, with some honorable mentions. So there we go, that is Lattafa in a nutshell if you're looking at the must-know, must-own releases. I wanna thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.